One of my good friends asked me if I could build him a computer. I said, sure, why not? The first question is, what performance does he want? That helps us figure out what parts we're going to have to buy. He said as long as it looks better than his Xbox, or at least on par. Okay, that sounds doable. The second question is, how much is he willing to spend? He said 500 bucks, which puts us in the console pricing territory. The third question is, does he care if I buy used parts? He said no. Hold my beer. I always ask the last question because some people don't want used parts, and I get it, but if you're cool with used components, you get the best bang for your buck. We're going to have to sacrifice and buy some second-hand parts to hit his budget. With that said, let's get started. Since we're trying to hit a very low price point, we have to look around at different generations of motherboards, processors for the best value. That points us at the AM4 platform. It's been around forever, so parts are pretty plentiful and cheap on the used market. Performance-wise, the AM4 is only a few frames behind the newer AM5 platform in performance for many games, so it's still a solid choice for a budget build. I started on eBay with no luck and eventually went to the dark corners of Facebook Marketplace. I found a guy selling a motherboard for 20 bucks. He didn't even know if it worked. Apparently it was leftover stuff from his son that's currently in college, so he was getting rid of some of his stuff. I managed to snag an Asus TUF Gaming B55 motherboard for only 20 bucks. An absolute steal. But of course, the real question, will it work? Also, please give me a like and subscribe. I really need the love. You can't test a board when you pick it up, so I had to wait until I got home. I popped in a CPU just to make sure it posted, and it did. So we're on to the next part, the processor. The AM4 has some of the best CPUs available, like the 5800X that still holds its own against the newer chips. But to keep this build in the $500 window, we aren't going for an 8-core chip. We're looking at the 6-core options like the Ryzen 5 5600 and the 5600G, or even lower, the 5500. Because I live in the middle of nowhere, used CPUs were kind of scarce on Facebook Marketplace, and the ones I found were almost 50 miles away from my location, and they wouldn't be worth buying because people are asking basically MSRP. And the ones on eBay were about the same price as new. So I settled on the AMD Ryzen 5500 for 74 bucks. The performance difference between the 5600 and the 5500 is so small you can't even tell. So this felt like a good compromise. Your local market might have better deals if you live in a more populated area. I bought the 5500 new on Amazon, same deal for the RAM. I grabbed some off-brand DDR4 16 gigs, 2 8 gig sticks at 3200 megahertz for 40 bucks. But we still need a case. You can usually find used ones for fairly cheap, but since the nearest one for me is hours away, I went hunting on Amazon. I found a brand called Morval that had a mid-tower ATX case with 4 fans included for about 50 bucks. The fans aren't fully RGB, they're fixed lights, which is a bit disappointing, but it's an easy upgrade later on. The case gives us plenty of room for airflow and functionality for future upgrades. So far, parts spent, 20 bucks motherboard, 74 CPU, $40 for the RAM, $50 for the case, equaling $184 spent. That leaves us $316 in our budget. And the next big purchase is the GPU. We want something that can handle 1080p and ideally 1440p, since we're directly competing against a console. 1080p is the target. I checked out eBay and other marketplaces with no luck. Then later in the day, while I was playing Rust, absolutely obliterating a bunch of nakeds, my buddy said that he's upgrading and selling his graphic card. He pulled out an RTX 2060 12 gig, and I was like, perfect. For 150 bucks, we were able to pick up this Gigabyte triple fan RTX 3060. I would have loved to get my hands on a 3060 Ti, which performs much better, but for the price and our goals, the 12 gig 3060 should be plenty. With the GPU purchased, The remaining budget is $216. We still need storage and a power supply. For storage, I found a 500 gig M.2 tucked away at my local Walmart for 11 bucks. This thing was an absolute killer of a deal. I also grabbed a 1TB SATA SSD for 50 bucks to add more storage. You can always change these options depending on the sales in your area and what stores offer great deals. But that was what I was able to find. I didn't want to skimp on a power supply. I checked a couple of different tier lists and reviews and picked up the MSI Mag 650 Bronze for $70. A semi-module power supply that is well rated for the price. I also made a last minute call to add in a CPU cooler. I grabbed a dual tower ARGB cooler for 30 bucks. It's from a brand I have never heard of, but it looked solid for what it was offering. Final total, this build hits exactly 500 bucks. You can likely do better if you live somewhere with a busier used marketplace and you're willing to take a bit of a risk on used parts. But for my area, this is what we're able to put together. I assembled the PC, tied up the cables, and booted it into Windows 11. This system looks great. The case front panel has a very nice design. While the included fans are static, the CPU cooler's ARGB gives a nice accent to the overall build and feels a little bit more premium for your money. And the overall build quality feels fine for the amount of money this case was. With that said, let's move on to benchmarking. For everything below is at 1080p and max settings. The finals max settings averaged between 90 and 120 FPS, which was very smooth and playable. I enjoy this game way too much. Marvel Rivals max settings averaged between 84 and 94 FPS, which is definitely lower than the finals, but still plenty enough. Splitgate 2 max settings averaged between 92 and 122 FPS, is also pretty good, but I do want to note that the consoles do perform better with this game. CS2 max settings average 159 FPS, peaks around 180 FPS. MSI Afterburner didn't work with CS2, so I used the Windows frame rate counter instead. This definitely doesn't work as well, but it does get the job done. And as for MSI not working with CS, I didn't dig too far into it. Halo Infinite max settings 86 to 120 FPS, which is also pretty good. Starfield high settings average between 56 and 70 frames per second. This game is very demanding, but it still runs better than an Xbox, so I'll take it. Rust is a bit tricky. We saw 70 to 120 FPS on max settings, which is playable, but it can be choppy in heavy sections. Rust also has sometimes a problem running on my absolute beast gaming PC with a 9070 XT, so take that with a grain of salt. Across the board, this PC handled most games very well at 1080p high or max settings. If you have a 3060 Ti or a stronger CPU, it would be even better, easily beating a console in many titles. For reference, console performance tends to sit somewhere between the RTX 3060 and an RTX 2070 in many cases. The 2070 is a little bit more powerful than the 3060. You can also find AMD GPUs that can give you more performance for the money in some situations, and is worth considering if you're building a similar rig. As for the CPU, the 5500 does a wonderful job being able to handle all these games and was not maxed out a single time during all my game sessions. I was very happy with the choice we took. At the end of the day, this is a pretty capable $500 gaming PC. It shines in a lot of areas, and my friend will be very happy with it. I had an absolute blast putting it together. It looks great and performs very well for the price. If you're on a tight budget, definitely check out used marketplaces like eBay and Facebook Marketplace for the best deal. You can save a ton of money. Just be aware of where you live and how much the risk you're willing to take. If you found this video interesting or enjoyable, please check out my 3D printed case I made. This was also a lot of fun and is currently my gaming PC, and I would love for people to check out the video. I think it deserves more love, but you know, YouTube hates me, so I'll leave it there. With that, I'll end the video here. Please feel free to like and subscribe and check out my other content. You have a good one.